What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. It's Friday. We're at the dealership, of course. Took the drift car out to a car meet last night. A couple exits down the highway, about 30 minutes actually each way, so it's a fun little time. Broke the legs on the old girl for the first time this season with the new Monroes. Don't believe I could quarters, so fitment's doing well. Maybe a little bit of rubbish, but yeah. It was a cold night. Oil temps kept dropping, but ended up staying around 120. But hey, old girl cruises. We're gonna do some company work, get back to the drift car at the end of the day. Pretty slow here at the shop, as you can see. I figured I'd clean up these old tires up the old rack here. Get my new tires up there. Just clean up the shop. Alright, I'm running out of room. I'm gonna go ahead and get these spare tires down here. Right, junk those. Get the rest of those canvas up there. Got all the kendas up there. It's actually a pain lifting 18 tires above your head. It's a fun time. Actually got the spare from Monroe's up there as well. Got a little bit more walking room around here. Look at all them kendas. Shout out the tire stacks once again. Much appreciated. Much loved stage wheels. Alright y'all, welcome back. Just went and picked up a Z32 transmission. I'm gonna get that pulled inside. Gonna get the car pulled out, we're gonna get warmed up. Getting ready for another car meet. It's actually at a local restaurant, Smash Burger. We're gonna grab some food, check out the other people's cars that show up, so yeah. Stay tuned for that. Let's get the drift car fired up and pulled out of here, huh? Alright y'all, we got the drift car out here idling, warming up. Pressure up. It's pretty cold out here. I got an oil cooler on this unit, so as soon as I start driving, she starts cooling. Get the X-Runner out this season. Alright, I'm about to leave, so I'm gonna get you set up in the back here for a time lapse on the way. Slide out so you'll be able to see something compared to last night. Just got back to the shop, open up the door, pull her in. Alright y'all, welcome back to the channel. Absolutely nothing going on in the apartment. Just getting ready to head out for the day. Probably gonna head to the dealership, 240s there of course. Just picked up a Z32 transmission. Yesterday, we're probably going to split the case on that, get our machine bell housing installed and whatnot. I just picked up a Cricut maker as well. Just in the process of learning how to whip up some vinyl decals. Gonna get the 240 and other buddies' cars looking better this year. So as mentioned before, I'm gonna grab all our bullshit. We're gonna hit the road. Alright, we just got out of the shop. Put your car exactly where we left it, of course. New piece of the puzzle, Z32 transmission. As mentioned before, we're gonna get these the bell housing in this tail section split apart. We're gonna pull out the internals and then slap it together with our machine bell housing and our cleaned up tail housing section. Just to make things a little bit easier. We're gonna have to pull it apart anyways. Why not use ours? Clean parts and whatnot. This thing's looking pretty good. Pulled off the little shifter section and whatnot where the linkage is. It's all looking wonderful in there. Gear oil wasn't too stanky. Even came with the little fork in the pilot bearing and whatnot. Oh, the throw up bearing. So early. Yep. Not sure what we're gonna get ourselves into today, other than split that apart and get it slapped together with this bell housing and tail section as mentioned before. One thing we were missing on this one was the 1-2 selector and a couple of the connecting dowels. But why not source another one? So Z32 things happening. Alright, we're gonna begin tearing down the transmission, so let's get to it. Alright, this transmission's beginning to kick my ass. I gotta get this front cover off here and the OEM sealant or gasket, whatever the fuck it is. It's stuck on there pretty well, so yeah, gotta get that off there. See if I can get the pry bar in there, get a good pry point, but there is none so far. Alright, this front cover is a fucking nightmare. I'm gonna look up a couple more ways to get this off here. See if there's any better methods out there. Fun time. Alright, finally, making a little bit of progress. Let me get a flashlight. It's laying somewhere around here. Oh, there we are. Alright, so in this little window, I have completely fucked up the front cover. That I do not care about. I have a replacement, but I was finally able to get a little bit of leverage in there, and I've gotten it separated, but no cause of a casualty, as you can see. Definitely leaking a little bit, so I'm gonna take the glove off, address that, get cleaned up a little bit, readdress this. All right, got new gloves, bandaged up, ready to rock. Second workspace cleaned up a little bit. I ain't working in filth, but sometimes you gotta persevere, so here we are. As mentioned before, made a little bit of progress, got some leverage in there. Let's go ahead and pop this off the rest of the way. All right, now there's a little snap ring right there. All right, pop that off. Should be able to separate the housings now. This thing's a fucking nightmare. I'm slipping and sliding on this nasty ass gear oil. Gotta get my fucking workstation cleaned up, readdress the situation before I can go any further. I'm gonna spend it all fucking day just getting more pissed off. All right, finally got the bell housing section off the transmission. Let me go ahead and get that gear oil cleaned up off there. I'm tired of fucking dealing with it. It's like the probably 12th pair of gloves I've had already. So, yeah. All right, just got that gear oil sprayed down. Got the case cleaned off a little bit more. Should be a little bit better to maneuver around without getting too dirty. So, here we go. Alright, now I gotta figure out how to get this tail section off here. So I gotta pull apart some of that linkage. Hopefully I don't have to pull too many of those connecting dowels out. Yeah. Alright, a little bit of time has passed. Finally figured out how to get this tail section off. Had to knock out one of the connecting dowels to the shifter assembly. So, yep. Was able to get this section separated. I'm about to pull the tail section off right now. See how that goes. This thing's looking pretty good. I mean, I don't see any metal debris or anything in the gear oil. It's not too bad as far as the smell. Obviously gear oil does stink, but no foul, burnt odor or anything like that. Gotta make sure I get all this washers and whatnot. It's gonna be a fun time slapping this together with our other sections. So I'm gonna get this rest of this cleaned up here. Make sure we don't get too dirty. And then yeah. All right, as you saw, we got the internal section separated. Took me all day. It's actually embarrassing to admit, but with that said, we're gonna pretty much leave it where it is. We're gonna ditch these sections, just obviously save them. We're gonna rob them of what parts we do need in the future, but as far as that goes, we're gonna slap it together with our tail section and our machined bell housing. All right, just got everything cleaned up, gearing up to get out of here for the day. Got everything laid out here on the table. Finally have everything we needed for the Z32 transmission. I'm gonna come in tomorrow, get this thing assembled, have it all ironed out, ready to slap in the car. Getting pretty tired, as you can tell. Pretty dark outside. It's been a long day. Not making much progress on this transmission, getting it knocked apart and whatnot, so yeah. Should be a fun time slapping this together. All right, completely done cleaning up. Just about to walk out the door for the day. Gonna be here bright and early. Got someone coming to pick up these square wheels we had. Obviously got those Monroes on there. We don't need those 4 lugs anymore. So yeah, it's pinch me 4. Grab the rest of the things we brought here and then get out the door.